It gives me great pleasure to be speaking to Battletown's first team coach, Caspa Rich Spice. He's doing an amazing job. It looked a little bit hairy at the beginning of the season, but we're going to talk about that in a second. For those that are listening, Battletown formerly were the Battle Baptists. They've been knocking around since about 2004 and became Battletown in 2020. First of all, with Battle, Caspa, do they still have those church links? Because I know that you used to play in like the Christian Cup and things like that. Is your side still involved with those sort of things?
Well, as a club, we're still linked to the church.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have people who are supporting the church still support us, but we don't know. We're not part of the Christian Cup no more.
No.
This year, not to be involved in it.
All right. And just quickly, how did it come that you become the first team coach of Battle?
Long story short was I joined as assistant manager about 4 years ago. As the first team when Carl Mann took over, left during that season for certain reasons, and then I joined them back end the year after the second team manager, and Gary Wenham was in charge. Then the year after that, which would have been last year, I took over as first team manager.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, excellent stuff. Okay, so I mean, from what I can see anyway, like COVID kind of had halted your side's promotion as you're clearly were knocking on the door of the MSFL for a few years. I mean, that must have been, as it has been for many sides, it must have been quite frustrating that, you guys could have come up earlier, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, really, that was actually when Gary Wenham was running the first team, and they were doing really, really well. Obviously, COVID spoiled it for quite a lot of people, unfortunately. You deal with what's in front of you, and Gary was doing really well. I was the second team manager then, but as the season, Gary decided after that not to carry on, and they asked me politely to take the reins.
No, okay, yeah, and well, you've done well, mate. I mean, going up, like obviously up to the Prem. What was your pre-season hopes? I say this because when we started doing this weekly roundup, we did like a pre-season prediction roundtable with like John Carey, Harry Stapley. I don't know if you saw it, and all of us kind of hinted that we all kind of thought you might struggle.
Yeah, you weren't very polite about us.
I was, but you're rubbing it in the face now, really, aren't you? I mean, how wrong we were. First of all, let's look at what you thought pre-season, and then obviously you're beginning, and obviously this fantastic run you've been on since. So, what were you thinking pre-season?
Before pre-season, when we went up, if you look at our results last year, we played Westfield, we beat them in the cup, beat them 3-1. Played Royalfield, beat them in the cup. So we thought ourselves as a team were in a good position to definitely do something. I had a goal, and my goal was top 4.
Yeah.
That goal wouldn't have changed irrespective of the poor start to the beginning of the season and pre-season. Our team I generally feel we're good enough to be up there.
Yeah.
To be challenging and make a nuisance of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, so then you obviously had your start. And I think it was the first 5 games you lost. I mean, obviously you were starting against the first team you had was Hollington, and that was always going to be a tough ask against a team with decent backing as well. You know, that they've got a very good squad there. But I mean, what were you thinking? That obviously it was 5 games. I mean, how did you turn it round? I mean, what did you do? Was there what magic did you pull off?
Really annoyingly, like at the beginning of the season, so all pre-season, I was with the first team. But the first 4 games, I was on holiday in Turkey.
So it's your return. Yeah, I see. Yeah, go on.
So, I think nothing wrong with it. The team played really well, bar Hollington. What I heard, Hollington absolutely railroaded us. The Ringwood game, we were 2-0 up and we let it slip. And then the Reigate game, again, we were 2-0 up and let it slip. So we were playing well at the beginning of the season. We just weren't getting the results.
And then, so, I mean, obviously you come back. I mean, it's been magnificent. I mean, if I'm not wrong, I think it was like you've only lost 1 in the last 10.
Yeah,
it's about that.
10,
yeah. An absolutely tremendous run. I mean, you lot must be buzzing.
Yeah, and even that game we lost, it was frustrating. We played Barkham. Yeah, even that a game we shouldn't have lost. Really, we had chances to win the game, and in the end, the fine little margins took over. Really, and we didn't win the game. But yeah, we certainly believe at the moment no one can stop us.
Yeah, well,
playing that well.
Absolutely. Well, going to that, I mean, you've got an absolute beauty of a game next week, of this Saturday,
very important.
Yeah, against LINDFIELD. And I mean, I've seen them play. I think I saw them against Westfield. But to me, big physical team. a decent finishing on them. I mean, they bullied Westfield a little bit in that game. How do you think you're going to get on? If I was your lot, I'd be up there more worried about you at the moment. But, I mean, how do you think it's going to go?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams, a lot of people have been saying like they turn up or we turn up against them and they're worried about what we're doing. And I say to the lads all the time, we can look at about what other teams are doing. We've got to concentrate on what we're doing well. If we concentrate on doing how well we're doing, how well we're playing, I can't see teams doing particularly very well against us. Obviously, the teams in this league are really good, but we've got to concentrate on how well we're playing, how well we're doing, and if we carry that on, I don't see no reason why we can't go and get 3 points on Saturday. So.
Oh, nice one by that. Well, as I say, I was saying to Leon for this week's Hastings report, I mean, if you win that game, it is definitely, it's on. Do you know what I mean? That spot's on for you, isn't it, really? I mean...
yeah, massively, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what they're like as a team. A lot of teams in this league like to play football, and I assume they're going to be exactly the same. So I say just instill what we're good at, carry on doing what we're doing. I'm sure it'll be an entertaining game. Hopefully we come out with a better result.
Yeah, no. Well, we're all hoping that. I mean, we're all eating humble pie. I remember the first few weeks of us doing the review, and we were like, "Oh dear, like they don't look good for battle." You know, they look like they're going down. And then obviously, as we know, bugger all. Your boys have just absolutely stormed it. Just quickly though, Casper.
Yes,
obviously, to make that jump up, you're playing your home games at Prince's Park in Eastbourne. I mean, how long will that arrangement be in place, and is there any opportunity to go back to battle anytime soon?
Yeah, the plan is to go back to battle.
Yeah,
that's all dependent on the Battle Council and if they can sort the pavilion out at Battle Rec, which, as far as I'm aware, is in they're talking about getting it sorted. Because the pitch is up to quality, it's just we don't have showers and any of the changing rooms. So that is the end goal, to be back at Battle. Obviously, that's where we're from. We want to be at home, playing our home games at Battle. But for the meantime, Eastbourne have been superb. They said we can play there this year. And next year, obviously, if it does move to 3G or 4G, they're happy for us to carry on.
Okay, all right then. Yeah, okay. I was going to ask you, I mean, is there any 2 or 3 players outstanding in your side? I mean, like that you'd want to give a special mention? You think that they've done really well? Or?
It's a very tricky one because of they're all believed they want to be named. And if I'm perfectly honest with you, it's going from the beginning of the season where I think as a team we're struggling the pace of the game, how to conduct ourselves, and everyone's. I say that I think everyone has up their level in their game. I can't sit here and say my top goal scorers won us the games because the midfield behind them would have put the effort and the hard work in for him to be able to produce the goals. And then also our defensive record's got better and the defence has improved. So it's very difficult to pick out and say one player's been head over heels above everyone else, because I'd say they're all been absolutely superb.
Well, maybe at the end of the season we can talk about that. But
we can talk about man's player this season. I'm only going to forget now.
Yeah. Well, listen, Casper, thanks very much for your time, mate.
No problem, mate. Thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers, mate.